After a 24-58 season that none of us saw coming, we are here on Draft Lottery Night, where this is a huge moment for the Philadelphia 76ers, and we are here with you live for NBA Lottery Night as the Philadelphia 76ers finish with the 5th worst record in the NBA, the 5th best odds for the lottery tonight, and an opportunity to, as we talked about a little bit earlier here on the PHLY Sixers podcast, try to save things for the offseason and then the regular season for next year.
And the future of our lives and careers, baby.
Of it all. Alongside Derek Bodner, Rich Hoffman, Kyle Newbeck, I'm Devon Givens, president of basketball operations. Bree is producing. Chris is hanging out with us here. And we have our live draft lottery party ongoing in our offices. And so many people, Rich, have been talking about how nervous they are as we await what happens here tonight with the opportunity in front of the Sixers.
A lot of great people out there. Nice turnout. I'm with them, Devon. I'm with them, man.
I'm the only one that's not nervous.
I am so nervous.
Joe Cool over here.
I'm trying, man.
Not all of us have cousins currently playing in the playoffs. So
I'm nervous about that.
They're talking about Celtics Knicks right now on the broadcast. Do they understand that
There we
our
go.
livelihoods
I see
are at
Dylan Harper.
on the
I
line
see
right now?
Trey. This is more. I need those ping pong balls flying across the screen.
Do you still have the? Do you have the ping pong ball with you?
I do not. I left it out there on purpose.
Falling down on the job.
I left it out there on purpose. I didn't want to bring that in here. We did that for the earlier show. But again, man, just as we talked about, some nerves that are starting to build up as we are here
Big
now.
time.
7:01. And as we see Cooper Flagg on television, he is the prime prize, and his teammates from Duke also in Chicago for the draft lottery. But a lot of nerves, man. Kyle, a lot of nerves for a lot of people because, as you said, it just relies so much on this happening tonight for the Sixers to stay within the top 6, number one. But if they can capture the flag, then that would just turn things around a great deal.
And this is a lot different from, we went through these lottery drawings a bunch of years in a row, right? Where you're going into it hoping that they get a high value pick, hoping that they have a chance for a franchise changing and defining star. But at that point, it never really felt like if they don't get this one,
Yes.
Rome is burning, right? This is a lot different. This is a moment in franchise history where it feels like a lot of things are just hanging in the balance. If they didn't win the 2016 lottery, they had more picks coming. They had future
You had
flexibility.
Joel Embiid still waiting in the wings.
They didn't know that people's bodies were going to completely fall apart and be unreliable in the playoffs and so on and so forth. Right now, it feels like even just keeping the pick at all is the difference between an interesting offseason, a fun next year, and I don't know, doom, gloom, pain, suffering. I don't even know how to completely sum it up. It is fraught around here, I would say that.
Has there ever been a franchise heading into lottery night that has had such different potential outcomes, right? Where you could literally get a franchise changer. You could get a guy that everybody thinks is going to be not just a good number one pick, but a great number one pick, and who really checks every single box that you would want from him, or you don't get the pick at all. You don't get it at all, and you're not really rebuilding right now anyway. So
You're kind of screwed.
I don't think there has ever been a franchise that just has just the difference in outcomes is just wild. It's absolutely wild.
And
These
again,
ping pong
10
balls
months
tonight.
ago, this wasn't even a remote possibility here, Derek. We weren't talking about this. We weren't worried about this. We worried about winning 50 games for them and how far do they advance in the postseason, because that's what we're accustomed to.
Conspiracy corner. There's a lot of purple ties on that set. I'm keeping my eye on the Pelicans and Kings.
And the Hornets, for that matter.
Yes.
I guess that's true.
10 months ago, people were saying the Sixers won the offseason. Like Mark Stein put out a video where it's like the Sixers won the offseason and the Suns had the highest payroll in the league. And here we are.
Here we are.
5th best odds for Cooper Flagg. She's honestly, they home run down the stretch of tanking to get in this spot. The odds are solid, but not solid enough where any of us are sitting here, perspiration free. That's for sure.
There was a moment in time where the Sixers were closer to the position San Antonio is in tonight than the one they're in now, right? Where San Antonio has 8. They also have 14 via the Hawks. And they already have their guy, right? They have the foundation in Wemby. They went and got De'Aaron Fox. They have a Vassell and you just look at how bright their future is. Man, you could come away with 2 lottery guys in this draft. I really wish I could be in the shoes of that type of team.
After
right
2
now.
back-to-back rookies of the year with Steph Castle winning
I
rookie of
didn't
the
even
year.
get to Steph Castle.
Yeah, exactly.
What was their odds on lottery night for Wemby? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
It wasn't
I don't
high.
remember.
No, I don't remember. But Rich, I do ask you because you haven't been here for a while on the Sixers side to talk about where you are right now as we see Daryl Morey, Elton Brand, and Coach Nick Nurse at the lottery. Jared McCain will be representing the Sixers.
I wonder who the rep in the real room is for them.
That's a good question.
I feel like it should have been Daryl.
Well, I know there is a contingent that's in Chicago right now, so I won't say who I know is there.
Okay.
But, there are some people who are.
But we saw those 3 at least sitting there lottery side as they await the pick. Your thoughts though, because we've talked so much about not only 1, 2, 3 in the debate for 4, but 5 and 6 is a real thing for this team just to win it, just to stay in it and not have this go towards the Oklahoma City Thunder. What do you think? What is the stop spot for you where you're just like, I can't do it. I'm not interested in this player, or are you all in on all 6?
I'm all in on all 6, right? I mean, there's just so many things that they can do with the 5th and 6th pick, right? And I know a lot of people tend to think that this lottery it's Flagg is the clear guy. Maybe Dylan Harper's in that all-star tier in the next tier, and then it's kind of like who do you like the best, right? I think a bunch of people could have different opinions on that. I still think there are a lot of exciting players who have, obviously some weaknesses, all of them, but I could get talked into any of those guys. So no, Devon, honestly, if they are sitting here with the 5th or the 6th pick after night, I'm going to be pretty happy because the worst case scenario is the one thing I am looking to avoid here.
Sunshine Hoffman, they're calling him down there.
Look, and obviously Cooper Flagg, that would change everything for this franchise,
Yes.
right? I have very few questions about him as an NBA player, but if they got the 4th or the 5th pick, that would be fine too.
Listen, man, they as far as they go with who they get, who they potentially get, and all that. Staying in just means a lot for this franchise. It means a lot selfishly for us for the summer and the off season, right? Summer league, training camp, all that great stuff. But they just, again, this is a spot that they weren't expected to be in. And they now have, if we're to believe that they are believing Daryl Morey at any point of anything that he has said, that they are still that team that's going to be in the postseason, this is supposed to be a luxury now because you just had one of those seasons that, again, just fell by the wayside so badly. Yeah. And this should be, again, a luxury pick here at this spot.
So 2 things. I think we need a Sunshine Hoffman t-shirt. I think that's got to be a thing.
Write it down.
And also, just how many days did we wear tank helmets to get to this spot? So many days
Giving
we were
these away
rooting
tonight.
for
Let's
better
remember
odds.
who it's really about. The media covering the team, Derek.
Right.
We always need to remind
I'm
people
just saying,
that.
we built everything for this day, and it could come crashing down in about 10 minutes. It's terrifying.
Absolutely. So, Rich, you talked about the weaknesses and the strengths, et cetera. But also, we have something that we have that's prepared to talk about some of those strengths and weaknesses, and that's courtesy of our very own Derek Bodner and Will Gottlieb of the CHGO Bulls coverage in Chicago. The NBA Die Hard Draft Guide, your ultimate resource for the 2025 NBA Draft. And Derek, great work. All diehards, you must be a diehard member to access this draft guide. And Derek, you guys are just looking it over as we were trying to entertain our people here, our community that came in to hang out with us. But you guys look like you put a lot of great work into this, and something, of course, of your background. But this is pretty cool to see this in real form, kind of like what they did for the NFL draft guide, but see it here and seeing you put this together with Will.
Yeah, no, it was fun to dive back in the draft because that's something we used to do a lot of, not only because of the Sixers. Covering the Sixers was basically like covering the draft back in the day, but also that's sort of how I got into this industry. So it was fun to go back to that. There's a lot of information there on player strengths, player weaknesses, comparisons, where they get their shots from, how they go about getting those shots. Like I said, a lot of work did go into that with myself and Will, but it is. I think it's going to be a good resource, not only for the top 6 pick if they get it, but also for that 35 pick, which is going to be
and for me, I have
well.
to do less homework now. It's great. I can just pull up Derek and Will's guide, and I don't have to think about. And
it's
guys
a bit of a living, breathing document, as Fran's was, and that we will be updating it throughout the next 6 weeks, regardless of what happens here tonight, but hopefully, especially.
Guys, we need to reference
to
that
pick
for the top 6 picks. I just need it. I just need to
I
read
did
about
pre-
VJ
I did
Edgecombe.
prep.
I need
I
to
did
read
pre-
about
VJ
Right.
Edgecombe, who had like a 6'7",
Over
6'8"
6'7" wingspan.
Yep.
That was a big development today at the. So
Let's talk about some of them on the other side to tease a
Good
couple of
idea.
the folks and let them know how some of these played out with the combine happening, the measurements taking place. And let's take a quick break. We pause, we come back, give you some of those measurements and the reveal of at least 14 through 5, as they like to tease us on television and make us go to commercial for the Final Four. We'll do that when we get back right here on the PHLY Draft
even
Lottery
smoking. I need a
Show,
cigarette.
right here on PHLY Sixers Podcast. And I need to tell you about my good people from Rothman Orthopedics. And let's talk about getting back to what you love. If you're a weekend warrior or just trying to keep up with the kids, you know how tough it is when your body doesn't cooperate. That's where Rothman Orthopedics comes in. I've torn my Achilles, torn my ACL. I was talking to one of our community friends.
I'm going to
just a
get
little
injured
bit
just
ago.
sitting next to this guy.
She
over
had
here.
a torn ACL, so Derek introduced me to her, and we were having a pretty good conversation. And so whether it's pain from playing your favorite sport, an accident that just happens, and you get a bad injury like that, you never know what you want to do. You want to react, and you want to know what the right next course of action is for you. Rothman Orthopedics is just that, where getting you back to your game is the mission. Rothman's 180-plus fellowship-trained physicians specialize in specific areas of the body and a multitude of orthopedic services, including hip, knee, spine, shoulder, and elbow, and so much more. So if you are dealing with some pain, maybe a major injury like myself, Rothman is the place for you. For more information, visit rothmanortho.com/landing/PHLY. All right.
Derek.
Are we doing two at the? All right,
We're doing them all right now.
Doing them all.
That's all.
Don't
my
even
bad.
worry about
Falling
it.
down
We
on
also
the
want to tell you
job
about
over there.
Sorry. About TrueMark Financial. If you're working from home, it's time to stop calling plays from the couch. With a TrueMark Financial HELOC Select, you can tap into your home's equity and finally upgrade that home office, build out a better space, or just finish the projects you've been putting off. With the HELOC Select, you get a great low rate, flexible access. You can pull funds all at once or only when you need them, lower rates than most personal loans, and no penalties if you pay it off early. Visit TrueMark.com/PHLY to apply and turn your work from home game into a winning play. Terms and conditions apply. Visit TrueMark.com/HELOC for details. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender, NMLS 404938.
And don't worry, the beverage king of PHLY was
Got you
not going to
covered.
forget to cover our wonderful new friends at Pabst Light. Pabst Light is a new, light, modern beer from Pabst Brewing Company. We got some Pabst
Celebratory
flying
tonight.
around the office right now.
Celebratory.
People are either nervous or celebrating.
Oh,
or
they're nervous.
Maybe a little bit of a combination of both. Here's the good thing, guys. 96 calories, 3.5 grams of carbs, full of crisp and refreshing flavor. We got to try some at some events that we've had recently. If the Sixers win, I'm going to have some tonight. If the Sixers lose, I'm going to have some tonight because they use high-quality ingredients. You can get a high-quality beer at a smart, approachable price. It retains the fun, independent spirit Pabst is known for, but it's light. So learn more about the new Pabst Light at pabstlight.com. Please drink responsibly. Must be 21 or older.
Welcome back to the PHLY Sixers podcast here. Draft lottery. It's about to happen, folks. We are a few minutes away.
There's that man, Coop.
There's that man. What were his measurements today there, Kyle? They did all that.
Oh, I got to pull that back up.
You can go to the draft guide. We've got all of them in there.
Got all the measurements.
Already updated, eh?
Right in there
Look
at the
at
draft
that.
guide. Best chance for number one pick. Jazz at 14, Wizards at 14, and the same for the number 3 pick. The Sixers at 10.5% for the best number 1 overall pick. Of course, that being Cooper Flagg. What's the measurements there?
I'm
for?
pulling up this handy dandy. I didn't realize it was already updated like that. So good job by Derek and Will for doing that.
That's what I
Yeah.
was doing while we were waiting for all the peeps to show up.
There you
Wow.
go. Good stuff.
I know it's big. That's what I know about his wingspan and his height. I can't tell you
he's a
exactly.
tall
Kyle's
guy.
official write-up big.
He's
tall.
Big guy.
He's a tall guy. So I'll go to a few here that I have. I'll start off with, we're going to start off with Flagg and get his measurements in here because right now I'm looking at it as we sit here and I'll just give you,
Hakeem, wow.
look at that, representing the right. Unfair.
I guess the Sixers had Dr. J do it for a few years, too.
I just mean that they're good already. So it's
Yeah,
unfair.
and you know who the guy was that won them the draft lottery? Brett Brown.
Brett Brown?
Brett Brown was the guy in the chair.
I'll never forget the weird hug.
The weird hug. Yeah. I used to
Cooper
use that.
Flagg's measurements today at the
weird
combine:
hug.
6'7",
Who's that, him and Mark Tatum?
3/4 inches, barefoot, 7-foot wingspan. So
Any
he
surprise
has
there for you guys?
I think he's
That's
about
about
what
right.
everyone expected. So at 8 foot, 10.5-inch standing reach.
Mm-hmm.
If we're talking about the surprises and maybe the positive surprises, we already mentioned VJ Edgecombe checked in with a 6 foot, 7.5-inch wingspan. That does give you a little more confidence as he fills out his body and gets stronger, that he might be able to defend some threes, which is there you go, Jared McCain on the broadcast.
I was worried
Everybody
they were
watching,
ahead. No,
watching
they were
at
cheering
home.
for Jared. They're cheering for
Yeah,
So
but
a
it's
6
like
foot
5
7.5-inch wingspan for Edgecombe is bigger than I think I expected and a lot of people were anticipating. So that's a good one. Another interesting one, although it may not apply to the Sixers, Derek can weigh in on this, how it moves him on his board. Jeremiah Fears,
Yes, sir.
6 foot 2.5, barefoot.
So he's like a legit 6'4" in shoes.
So 6'4" in shoes, and that was what he was listed at Oklahoma. And we said on the show, there's no chance in hell that this guy is 6'4".
to be fair, a year ago he wasn't 6'4".
Yes.
So.
And with a 6'5" and a 1/4-inch wingspan. So bigger than we were anticipating. And while that may not be the ultimate decisive factor for whether the Sixers were to draft him, I do think that's going to loom large for where he ultimately ends up getting drafted.
And potential trade in teams if they want to.
That's also true.
Yeah.
His Rich Hoffman swing skill, a cheeseburger. You need to get him as many cheeseburgers as possible. He's about $1.75 right now.
So he's
That
put
is
on
not-
10
Get
pounds.
him
Put on
a
10 pounds.
protein
He's still
shake.
not anywhere near
He's
where
not
he
going to
needs
be
to
19 until October.
No, he's very young.
Super
He
young.
is
So with
very
him
young.
being that
Yep.
young, could he
Is that Mark Tatum at the podium?
add some LBs and also a little height to him, right? He's only 18.
All right, guys.
Could that happen?
So just so everyone knows, until 9, which is when that's as far
Right.
back as you could see
14
the
through
Thunder
10 don't
logo.
matter.
We want right now. You want to see Spurs. Spurs.
yes.
Perfect. Next one, we want to see the Hawks at 13.
Let's see.
Hawks at 13. We
Let's
need
see if we get that.
Got to see the Hawks at 13.
Yeah. Let's see if
Come
we
on,
get that.
come on, commit.
There you go.
Still good so far. You want to see the Chicago Bulls logo at 12.
Okay. Let's go, Chicago Bulls. The CHGO is
Deputy
happy.
Commissioner Tatum.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
CHGO is happy.
We want to see the
They're
Dallas Mavericks logo at 11.
Good job,
Dallas Mavericks. No! The Mavericks jumped into the top 4.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. So now only one more team needs to jump and they lose the pick.
Well, as long as the Sixers don't
didn't
jump.
jump.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
10, you want to see?
Houston.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's good.
Yeah. You want to see Houston.
Yes.
Goes from
Because that was
Phoenix.
Phoenix
Yep.
on the back end.
So this is San.
Toronto, 9.
The
bad.
Spurs jumped.
Oh, yeah.
They had
Oh,
two,
no.
right? They have 2, but they were supposed to be a little bit higher.
The Spurs jumped.
Yeah. Two.
Oh, man.
2 jumped.
Sixers.
If you see the Sixers at 8 or 7, or the Thunder at 8 or 7, it's over.
They already showed Jared McCain, so that is
The
Brooklyn.
Nets.
Wow.
I mean, it's Toronto jump.
This is the
So
this
you
is the
don't-
only
This is the only pick.
this is if the Thunder logos. Let's go!
Okay.
Let's go!
So there you go.
Let's go! They kept the pick.
There you go.
Top 4?
Top 4.
top
There you
4.
go.
Guaranteed top 4. Oh, look
Let's
at
go!
three teams jumped, so that was getting
Washington at 6.
Washington fell from 2.
Yes. Yes.
Of course,
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Yes.
Jared McCain,
Lifetime Sixer.
Hey,
Lifetime Sixer is
Bree.
right.
Tell
Lifetime
them-
contract, Jared.
How long have I told? Top 3.
Man.
Top 3.
Let's go.
I kept saying.
Oh my
top
God! The
3.
Jazz fell to 4.
Huh?
You said it.
Top 3, Bree. I
The
kept
Jazz
saying.
fell 4 picks.
Top 3. All right, so Derek, lay this out for us. Charlotte, Philadelphia, San Antonio, and Dallas in the top
I'm sorry
4.
for yelling, and I'm gonna curse. I am fucking hyped right now. Let's go!
There you go.
The worst case.
Let's go!
And it showed Daryl putting his head on
No
the
Bud
table.
Dwyer on this street.
There you go. So lay this out for us here. Now they're in the top 4.
Come on,
Yeah.
baby.
That
Of
is-
course, that was going to happen the hard way where other teams jumped
Well,
too.
not
So
only
you
the
were.
others, 3 jumped.
And look,
Hey,
and
what
when
do we
put-
always ask for? You gotta make the commercial.
They make the
That's
commercial
all I ever
every
care
time.
about.
And
You
when
gotta
we
make
put-
the commercial.
When we put Bree's graphic up earlier, it was 10.5,
Oh my
10.5 for
God.
1, 2, and 4, and 10.6 for 3.
Yep.
So here we are. Yes.
No, I mean, look, that means you're getting one of Cooper, Harper, Now,
look, let's just keep it in order. Just keep it in order. VJ or Ace?
Kyle's high-fiving
yeah, I
people.
mean, that's not what I
saying.
had, but yeah,
I'm just
that would be a
saying.
great debate. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to it.
Right.
No, they have a. I mean, look, at this point, they have basically a 50-50 chance of getting a great player that you believe you can build around.
How are you feeling, Rich? How do you feel right
Unbelievable.
now?
Unbelievable. They could be the first name. Unbelievable, Don.
It doesn't,
I'm still-
it does not matter.
It
All
doesn't.
those
No, it
teams
doesn't.
jumped, and they still jumped and got the pick.
Okay.
Well, when that third team jumped before the Sixers, it was like pure
The
panic.
odds were astronomically low, it felt like at that point.
It's a legendary story regardless. Because you imagine
Oh
if they're
my
the fourth
God.
pick and they got it on the last drawing where...
This only
absolutely.
happened because they tanked. By the way, anybody who's an anti-tanker on moral grounds,
Hey,
shove
you
it.
just went out and
Shove
high-fived Val. She was one of them.
I know. Well,
Hey,
not Val.
we love you.
The other people.
See, this is
Not
why,
our people.
This is why it happened. You needed to do this. This is why it happened. And it's because of this. It's because of that reaction where you can get one of these top 4 picks and lay it all out. Bree, how you feeling?
Oh my God.
Bree, how you feeling, President of Basketball Ops? All right, but there you go.
I'm still like I'm not.
You're
I'm
shocked.
Not, yes,
You're
I
numb
was
right
so
now.
nervous there, and for
You're
that,
numb right now.
I was so
Said
nervous
top
too.
4.
This is why
What were you guys
I
talking
just
about?
scream and
Wingspans
let it out.
before
That's the
this?
only thing I know how
I
to do.
can't. I'm still like shook.
You guys were talking about like wingspans and stuff like right before.
I was talking about VJ
I wasn't
Edgecombs,
listening to any
Wingspan,
of
and
that.
Jeremiah
Nice.
Fears.
Yes, it was the helmets. Yes, absolutely. Scott Sote had
God.
said it was the helmets. It was the helmets.
We did this. We all did
And
this.
he
Yes.
was the orchestrator of it all
Lot
by
of
saying
work.
we need helmets.
I am
work.
Denzel
Here.
Washington. I'm leaving here with something.
Something.
That's
Yes.
all I
Yes,
care
you are.
about.
All right,
All I care about.
Bree,
But
do
by
we
the
keep
way-
it at top 3 or do we make
By the way,
adjustments?
25% chance of
Thoughts
Cooper Flagg
right here.
right now.
Yes.
Just saying.
That's what I'm saying. I said top 3 and I'm staying in the top 3.
And
They're
what,
top
50% chance that it's Flagg or Harper.
Yeah. Yep.
They're standing in
Pretty
the top
much
3.
exactly 50.
We got a super chat here from S.
I looked
Bookman,
at a lot of tankathon odds. I
32.
like those odds, Kyle. Those
Please
sound better.
let it happen. Please let it happen.
That sounds doable.
S. Bookman 32 with the super chat. S. Bookman 32. It's happening. It is happening.
My goodness.
They are going to get one of the top 3 picks,
Watching
and
this
I will
McDonald's
adjust
commercial right
in the
now.
moment.
Just
It really is
there's
the
not a
longest
time
commercial.
for honey mustard.
Hit the like button.
Do
Hit
you
the
really
like button
need more
out
money,
there.
NBA? Come
Like and subscribe to the show Monday through Friday. Just got more interesting for our off
Also,
season.
go
Hey,
check
by
out
the
the
way,
draft
top
book.
4 picks.
The Utah Jazz have not only never moved
Danny
up,
Ainge, eat it.
they dropped 4 slots.
Now, again, like I said earlier, I was kind of hoping
Con
that
Knipple
the
for
Jazz
you with
would
the
get
white
2,
boys.
'cause
Not
Harper
Cooper
has said
Flagg.
he's not going there. So
There you go.
Cooper Flagg's going to Dallas, by the way. It's going to happen. This is the payoff for Nico Harrison giving the Lakers Luka.
Yeah, they get Dylan Harper.
Conspiracy
I mean-
They get
corner.
Dylan Harper because they got
The
to transition
Sixers and
him.
Comcast reconciled.
Transition him.
Do we not get anything for that? We sold our soul to Comcast.
Yes. All right. How you feeling right now, Rich?
We're back from
I'm
commercial.
feeling great.
Top 3 or 4?
It's all gravy. But
No, it's gravy, but I just want a thought I just want a thought.
I think they're at 3. That's
Three?
my official
Well,
prediction.
that's where they ended up. How many times? 3 times? Okafor,
Okafor,
Embiid, and the
Embiid, and
Fultz
Fultz.
Fultz
And the
trade.
Fultz one,
Yeah,
yeah.
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 Well, actually, they
Eric?
ended up 5th
Derek?
on that one. They had a swap.
That was the
Oh, they had
swap
the
with
swap.
Sacramento, right?
That's true.
Okay. Derek, you top 3, stay at 4. What are you thinking?
I mean, I'm thinking I'm a nervous freaking wreck. Because
Thank God you guys can't see my legs. I'm like nervous tapping the floor over here.
Before I was nervous about missing the pick. Now I'm nervous about missing out on Cooper Flagg. So I just transferred my nervous energy to something else.
I think they get 2.
This is good money for me. I
Bree,
just
2? I think they get number 2, and that's going to just torture you because it's not Flagg because they were
That's
so
fine.
close.
Look, I
But
will happily-
Harper
we've
is
given Harper
awesome.
a
Harper
lot of
is
love
awesome.
here as we look at Nick Nurse, Elton Brand,
Daryl.
and Daryl
LeBron
Morey.
James.
Yes.
LeBron James.
LeBron James. Yes. And the real president of basketball ops here in the studio.
Man, that could have been a meme.
Bree.
listen.
that
this
shot
is-
of them
if
could have
they-
been a meme
if
forever.
they get this pick, it was all. I grew up a Tar Heels fan because I hated Duke. I'm in the brotherhood after this. If Elton Brand and Jared McCain got them this pick and got
true.
them this kid,
I mean, the Tar Heels just
I'm
had
in the
better colors
brotherhood.
and better logos.
All right,
too.
here
It
we
was just
go.
much better.
Mark Tatum.
Mark Tatum.
Come on, Mark Tatum.
All right, here we go.
No Sixers.
10
No
points.
Sixers here.
10.6 at this spot for the Sixers.
Fourth pick goes to.
Fourth pick goes to not the Sixers. I'm telling you. I told you.
Top 3.
I
Top 3.
told you. Huh?
Top 3.
Huh?
Wow, all the worst teams all
What'd I
dropped
tell
too.
you? What'd I tell you?
What'd I say? I said it was
Top
three.
three. All right.
Take top
That's
three.
a good night.
You
We
take
take
top
top
three.
three.
That's a good night, John.
From where they
That's
were,
a good night.
you take number 3.
Oh, I hate both of these teams.
Oh,
Dallas
Dallas
got
does
the
get
pick.
flagged.
What'd I
called
tell
it.
you?
You
What'd I
called it.
tell you?
What? Oh,
Conspiracy
get
corner.
outta here. What?
Conspiracy corner.
That's
I'm telling you.
Orlando
Boo.
Blackman, the good luck charm for the Dallas Mavericks, or the fact that they traded Luka Doncic.
Good for All City, though.
You're not kidding.
Good for the All City.
You're not
family.
kidding.
I mean, I'm happy for Dallas fans, but Nico does not deserve
No,
that.
he does not.
He does not deserve that.
No, he does not.
I'm telling you, it's because the fan base revolted and because they gave the Lakers Luka.
Conspiracy theory.
corner.
The Philadelphia 76ers will select 3 overall in next month's NBA draft. They were finishing with the 5th again spot. They moved up to number 3 and the right to draft somebody that we'll be debating this week.
Oh, we'll
and
be
the
debating.
the weeks to go until we get to that Wednesday and Thursday for the draft in June.
So what I go to right away is that there was a representative in that back room where they did the drawing, and the first 2 that got pulled were Dallas and San Antonio. And whoever that person was realized, man, they better pull our name out next.
Yes.
We're giving this thing to Oklahoma
Yes.
City. So
Right, yep.
I'm very
my
interested
goodness,
to read the
man.
accounts. I know Jake Fisher, I believe, is back there. I'm sure he'll be all over that. But no, I mean, at the start of the night,
My
if you would have
God.
told me number 3, I would have said wonderful.
Yes.
And look, I have been down on him, and we've talked a lot about it. I know Derek is down on him. But if ultimately you come out of this process with a guy like Ace Bailey, like his size,
we'll talk about how much
athleticism,
I like him.
shot-making,
and I
like
keep talking about how
Devon. And look, I've flip-flopped on him 100 times. But like for that to be the consolation prize, more than likely after a Flagg and after Harper, really talented kid. And then there's Edgecombe. And then frankly, there'll be guys like Trey and some other people. I do think, and I don't know this yet, the dust has to settle here.
it does.
I do think this pick will very much be on the table in trades. And I think we're going to hear a lot of different rumors that come out of the Sixers building for the next month and a half. And I would leave it at that for now.
Harper and Wemby are going to be interesting. I don't know the whole Fox component, but
Right.
that's going to be an interesting core.
and Castle.
Yeah.
I thought people were going to be mad if the Sixers moved up in the draft. The fact that Dallas and San Antonio are the first 2 picks, nobody's even going to think about the
No.
Sixers staving off not getting their pick. Yeah. Wow.
So you just heard Kyle talk about the VJ Edgecombe Ace Bailey debate. Do you have a preference today? Now we still have plenty of time to go, but today, do you have a preference, especially in this situation?
I think I would go VJ, but I can't wait to read the diehard draft guide and watch a lot more film of both of those guys and really have a nice debate about who's going to be the next player after Cooper Flagg and Dylan Harper likely go off the board first.
Our viewers at home, I apologize because I am publishing a story as we speak with a lot of thoughts on.
So as he does that, I'll just get ready to sign off for everyone here as we say goodnight and thank all the thousands of you who watched during our live stream here. The tank helmets worked to at least stay in the top 3 for the Philadelphia 76ers. And we don't have to hopefully use those anymore going forward. We're going to give away those
We're gonna give
tonight
them away, yeah.
to all the people who
one
showed
last
up.
ride for Sunshine Hoffman in the tank helmet over there.
So we thank everybody who's out there still listening for joining us here for the live show and the party here back at the studio and the offices. We thank President of Basketball Operations and super producer Bree for the great work, for making sure we were ready and good to go with our reads, the graphics, and everything that she always does to keep us right. Chris with the social media content, putting it out there immediately, especially with the number 3 overall pick graphic. That's going to be there as well. And Derek, Rich, thanks for hanging out as always. Always fun to see you. I'm sure we'll be seeing you a lot more during the off season. Kyle pushing out his stories.
Story is already live
Published,
at allphly.com for
ready
our
to go.
diehards with
And-
thoughts on VJ, Ace, Derek Queen, Common Malawak, Jeremiah Fears, Trey Johnson. I think I might be forgetting one or
Colin
two.
Murray Boyles.
Colin Murray Boyles. He's not going at 3. But
it's in
a lot
there.
of guys to think about.
It's in there. And we are with you tomorrow and the rest of the week and the rest of the off season at 3 p.m. We now know what number we're talking about. We'll be talking about a lot of players in that spot. Thanks for hanging out with us here on the PHLY Sixers Draft Lottery podcast. Sixers get the number 3 overall pick. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 3 p.m. right here on the PHLY Sixers podcast. Good night.
like the mayor.